One question I get from a lot of 4-2-5 coaches is how do I play a traditional tight end that is on the ball, hand in the dirt, and next to the tackle? The H-back at this point has pretty much been figured out. He's probably going to move. He's either going to go opposite in a slice action, he's going to insert into the nearest gap. But an online tight end can create some unique issues that a lot of these hybrid defenses just don't experience on a regular play. The Chargers illustrated a six technique or a head up, and I'm going to dive into why that might be the best way to play an online tight end. Here we have the Chargers, and they are running a six technique with their defensive end. And you see this a lot of times in these modern hybrid schemes that the defensive end is going to get flat footed and head up on the tight end. So you can see here he's flat footed. His eyes are directly on the tight end. Now, what he is trying to do is knock back this tight end and then get his head into the C gap. And the reason we know this is really because what the secondary is doing. We have a cloud corner here, meaning he is going to be the force player off the edge. We have a safety off the screen. On top, we have another safety off the screen, and we're going to have a corner over here. So what the Chargers are really running, and we'll see this post snap, is we are really getting cover six. So we are getting a quarter with a half on here. Now they are going to slice action this slot. He is going to work across, and what we're going to get is really a split zone. The running back is going to aim here. We're going to get split action away, and they've actually loaded this side with this tight end. Now, why do we want the defensive end in the C gap? Simple. It's because we want these linebackers to be able to plus with any kind of movement. We're going to have the overhang work outside. We need these guys to work to a gap. So he needs to be in the B gap. He needs to be in the A gap. What this leaves, though, is a problem in our C gap. So if we were to have the defensive end rock out, then I'm relying on a corner as the primary fitter in the C gap. And I don't want that matchup. If anything, I want that running back to hit here, and he has to go all the way around at an east and west movement. What we're trying to do a lot of times in these nickel defenses, we are just trying to mitigate as many gaps as we possibly can, allow these guys to play coverage, and keep our overhangs and our primary force defenders outside of primary fitting in the box. One way to do that is to use a six technique here by your defensive end, knock the tight end back, get his head inside. Now, the reason why I like this, especially at the higher levels, is because most of the time, this tight end isn't the best blocker, and that defensive end is an athletic freak, right? That he's one of the best players on the field. And so as we get this cross motion, you can see that we're going to get that split action here, and we're going to get this defensive end. He's going to put his head inside, which is where he needs to be. He's head up. He's going to put his head inside, and he's going to work. Now, notice how this tight end is struggling because this defensive end is able to lock out. Now, this is another good thing here that we have is watch our nose tackle. He is going to hit this center because the guard goes away, and he's going to strong arm and lock that guy out, control and reset the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to be able to pop back inside. We see this all the time when defensive line work this, and it's always good to see things in practice come into games, and this is a great example of that. Lockout, shed, and replace. And then look who we have. We have our nose and our defensive end meeting with the running back in the backfield for a very minimal gain. This ends up being a 1-yard gain. So why don't we just put him in a 9 technique and let him ride it out here? Well, if you're going to cloud your corner, you need to put him in the C gap. If you're going to play quarters and you're going to put this safety here at 10 yards, and we can see the safety here at 10 yards, and I want to make him primary C gap, then we can cheat the linebackers. We can put him in the C gap and then move him to a 9 technique. And then if we get this action, he can just surf and make sure he is now the force and nothing gets outside of him, allowing this corner to kind of be secondary support on the backside.